Coming to the last in the champion chase, Min has a 4-length lead over Altior. He's over Altior. He's after Min. Nico lets out a bit of rain. The response is imminent. He quickens clear to beat Min by an emphatic 3 lengths. Oh, hail the champion, Altior!
Race 2018. Imagine the lineup. Altior, Douvan and Min. If all 3 line up, we're set for one of the greatest races of all time. Now, the big question is, will Douvan make the race? Your guess is as good as mine. Will he, won't he? Willie Mullins, will he? Get the pun? Terrible joke, sorry about that. Will Douvan run? I hope so. Can Douvan win? Well, we're going to talk about that in the video. Let's have a little look at the previous Roll of Honour. We've had some truly great horses win the champion chase over the years. And the first one I personally remember winning, I think, was around the one-man era for Brian Harding. 1998, 20 years ago, I would have been 15. Yes, that would have been right. One man. Call Equinime for Paul Nicholls, and then we had Edredon Blur for Tony McCoy. Jesus Christ, that was 18 years ago that Edredon Blur won the champion chase. How time flies. I'll tell you one thing, boys and girls. Value your lives, because time waits for no man. How the hell has 18 years gone so fast? Jesus Christ, that is scary. Do any of you remember Edredon Blur winning? Where's the last 18 years gone? Unbelievable scenes. And then we had Moscow Flyer, the bad boy, Azertiot, Flagship Uberalis. That was a cracking time for National Hunt Racing. Some true champions there. We had the Martin Pipe trained horse, Well Chief. He was an absolute cracker as well. And then we had the double with Masterminded, who won it 2 years in a row for their golden era of Paul Nicholls. And most recently, we've had the Ledge, Sprinter Sacra. What an absolute champion, and one of the greatest training performances of all time from Nicky Henderson to get him back to full fitness and win it in 2016. Truly tremendous. And obviously the reigning champion, Sprinter Sacra for Henry de Bromhead. He can't be dismissed. He loves good ground and he goes a hell of a blaze. And if you can catch him, good luck to you. Let's go through the betting for the champion chase. Altior, your top price, 8 to 11 on Fav, 11 to 8 on, however you want to say it, 1.71 for Nicky Henderson. Min, an 11 to 4 shot, 3.75. And then we got Douvan, who's available at 9 to 2. I just don't know. You know, is he going to make the race? We'll find out, boys and girls. We just don't know at this stage. Politug, a 10 to 1 shot. Undersco 12s is going to go for the Ryanair unless it turns out to be a bog in the champion chase. And then we've got Special Tiara, who's a 16 to 1 shot. And unless the ground dries out, you wouldn't really fancy Special Tiara because he's a better horse on good ground. Anyway, let's crack on with the preview. But before we do that, here's me and Ali Altior from last year at Nicky Henderson's stable. Charlie Parks. Looks like he might run in the Supreme, may run in the Triumph. Charlie, quite a small compact horse, not as big as some of the others. Hello, say hello to the camera. Hello boy, looking well, good lad, like that don't you? Oh yes, oh yes. Here he is, it's Altior. Altior's just enjoying a feed at the moment. The champ, 4 runs this year, 4 wins. Won the Supreme Novices last year. A big odds-on favourite for the Arkle. Altior is one that definitely excites people. Vanatrix, Vanatru, hello. This is Mike Bite, favourite for the RSA. And he's going to take some beating. Unlucky at Kempton. Hello boy. Might Bite, big, powerful, strong chaser. Joss's Hill. I hope you enjoyed that brief little tour around Nicky Henderson's yard. It's a fantastic setup, as I'm sure you can imagine. Nicky's a world-class trainer, and he's been training for a hell of a long time. People think success stories happen overnight. Nope, incorrect. Yeah, sure, they do in some cases, but in most cases, people are grafting for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years behind the scenes, working their bollocks off, and Nicky Henderson's been doing that for a long, long time. What can I say about Altior that you don't already know? Let's just talk about his form and this horse's rise to predominance. First won a bumper at Market Raisin in 2014. He was 6 to 4 on, backed in from evens, and he won by 14 lengths. Actually beat a horse there called Double W's of the late Malcolm Jefferson's, and that was actually a fairly good horse. That is a fairly good horse. He's rated in the 140s, and he absolutely laughed at him on his debut. Blasting forwards, we all know he ran in that bumper at Newbury behind Barter's Hill. Bouvedere was second that day, one hell of a race. Now, the start of Altior's novice hurdle campaign, he went to Chepstow, hosed up, went to Ascot, beat Chittobello, kind of scraped home at Cheltenham on the 15th of November against Maputo. But then at Kempton on Boxing Day, he absolutely destroyed Open Eagle and Maracuja. And I think we saw a bit of brilliance from Altior that day. And I think that's when it all clicked for the horse over hurdles. He went straight to the Supreme. And in my opinion, won the greatest Supreme novice hurdle of all time. If you disagree about this, please let me know down below. I think the 2016 running of the Supreme novice hurdle was the best of all time. Check out the Roll of Honour. Altior beat Min by 7 lengths. A top-class horse is Min. Bouvedere was beaten 8.5 lengths. A champion hurdle winner who looks like dotting up in another champion hurdle. Horses in behind, Tombstone, Charabelle, Petit Mouchoir, Belge Hill. You've just got some decent substance to that race. I think it was outstanding, and he won by 7 lengths. That was the last time we saw Ali Altior over hurdles. He made his novice chase debut at Kempton. I was there that day in the pissing rain. He beat Black Corten, the winning machine, by 63 lengths. Incredible. Went on to Sandown and sprinted clear of Charabelle. Destroyed Maracuja at Kempton. And then, again, we saw some specialness from this horse, in my opinion. It was the Grade 2 Game Spirit at Newbury, where he battered Fox Norton by 13 lengths at Newbury, winning the same race last year that he's won this year, where he's beaten Pilatoog. And he just looked exceptional. He went on to win the Arkle, beating Cloudy Dream. I don't think Altior was that impressive last year. Charabelle fell, was it at the last? He fell 2 out. But, you know, in the end, he's won by 6 lengths. But he had to be pushed all the way out to the line. He beat Cloudy Dream. And I don't think Altior was at his best that day, to be honest. But at Sandown, for the celebration chase, he sure was. Because it was good ground. And we all know Special Tiara is a hell of a horse on good ground. He goes out, he blitzes. And it's kind of a question of catch me if you can. Altior, he tracked him. And he bounded clear up the Esher Hill there at Sandown to win by 8 lengths. And it was an absolutely majestical performance. Now, obviously, he's had wind surgery, and I saw Nicky Henderson at Newbury when he made his comeback, and I had a little chat with him, and he was just like, you know, he was very nervous, very, very nervous, and what he'd done to Pilatoog there was just incredible. To come back from the operation and just laugh at a horse who's rated 165 and cruise up alongside him was just incredible. Do you know what's even more incredible is Altior's bred by High Chaparral. I mean, his pedigree is absolutely top draw. A son of High Chaparral, you know, a Derby winner. He's got gears, he's got speed, he jumps very well. He can cruise at any tempo. Altior is the full package, and Nicky Henderson is talking him up as potentially the greatest horse he's ever had. He said nothing can work with him whatsoever. At this stage, you know, he's got the beating of Min easily, in my opinion. We'll talk about Douvan in a little bit, but at this stage, this course and distance winner, a Supreme winner, an Arkle winner, for me, he does what he says on the tin. He keeps on winning, and I don't think we've seen the best of Altior yet. I think there's more to come. Is he a Cheltenham banker? Well, I'll talk about that at the end of the video, but I think we should appreciate the greatness that we're seeing right now with Altior, because these horses are bloody special.
So we're live here at Sandown Park with Nicky Henderson. Nicky, Altior, another phenomenal performance. What's the plans for the future, and how impressive was he today for you?
I thought he was good. I mean, he's got things to learn about jumping fences, but that's what it's all about. You know, we're starting a new career, really. I was really pleased with him. I mean, there were a couple of mistakes, but that's what novice chases are all about. They've got to, it's all educated, it's all build up towards March, I hope, and the Arkle with the objective. Absolutely. You know, and I did, you know, in planning to switch him to chasing this year, not staying down the hurdle road, we've got to come out, we've got to go and win these sort of races. Yep. Winning it is one thing, education is another part of it. And I mean, he did the job extremely well. Yep. I mean, all the gears are working and everything, and the jumping was good. I mean, he's bound to have a little, because just, you know, it's a different idea altogether. So we were very, very pleased.
All roads.
Right, Min, your second favourite for the champion chase. He seems to have been around a while, Min. There's been a lot of talk about him from day one. He came over from France and hosed up in his first 2 novice hurdles at Punchestown. Went straight over to Cheltenham to take on Altior. Altior basically battered him senseless. Again, I've already stressed what an amazing novice hurdle that was with Bouvedere in the race. He was given a break after that by Willie Mullins. That was it. And last year he came out for his novice chase campaign. He won on debut, went to Leopardstown on Boxing Day and won the Racing Post Novices Chase by 9 lengths, hammering Road to Respect and Ordinary World. That was a really good run. Unfortunately, he suffered a setback there and we didn't see him again until November this year. Or last year, I should say. He came out, battered Flaxen Flare. Now, he went to Leopardstown and I don't know what was wrong with Min this day, but in the Rewards Club Chase, it was a grade 1 over 2 miles and a furlong. And he got turned out by the stewards. They chucked him out of the race. He beat Simply Ned a half a length. Anyway, the stewards done what they done, but he should have been beating an old boy like Simply Ned easily. He was rated £9 higher on rating. Simply Ned is no world beater. He's a solid yardstick, but if you're top class, you should be beating solid yardsticks. It's like athletics, you know. He wasn't on his best performances that day, Min. Now, next time up, we all know he went to the Dublin Racing Festival. He ran in the Coral Dublin Chase. It's a grade 2. Again over 2 mile 1, and he absolutely destroyed Simply Ned by 12 lengths. So the real Min showed up, which was good to see. The betting was interesting in that race. York Hill drifted out from 11-8 to 7-4 before the off, and I backed York Hill in the morning, and I was at Leopardstown 3 minutes prior to the off. I saw the money coming from Min from literally 3.2. I think it was down to 2.4, and I just backed Min. I had a lumpy bet on him. I couldn't believe the way the favourites have flip-flopped there. And obviously we know York Hill has bombed this year big time. But take nothing away from Min. He battered Simply Ned and Special Tiara there. And we know he's a high-class horse who can run to 160. And it's going to be fascinating to see him taking on Altior and potentially Douvan. Do I think he can beat Altior? No, I don't. I think Altior's the better horse by a long way. And I think, you know, he'll potentially be second if Douvan isn't in the race. Let's talk about Douvan. Right, the legend that is Douvan. Again, we're talking about a horse here who, if injury didn't kind of annoy him last year in the champion chase, who knows what we might have seen this year. It's a real shame because him versus Altior, you know, that's special. And as National Hunt fans, what we want to see is true champions racing against each other in their prime. Just like boxing, we want to see champions take each other on at their best, not when they're old men, not when they've had a load of injuries. We want to see them go toe-to-toe, and I don't think that's going to happen with Altior and Douvan. Another horse who came over from France, a big talking horse, done the Goran Punchestown route that Willie Mullins really likes. Straight to Cheltenham for the Supreme. Battered Shane's Hill, was super impressive. A great novice hurdle that again there. You know, we had Sizing John, a Gold Cup winner, and Lammy Surge in the race. A good race that. Went on to win at Punchestown, had his break, straight over fences. You know, really knew straight away this is a real chaser in the making. Won a novice chase, back-to-back grade 1s at Leopardstown, beating Sizing John most of the time. Don't know why they ran that horse over the wrong trip for so long, but Jesse finally unleashed him over the stayers' distances. Went to Cheltenham, won the Arkle, was really impressive in beating Sizing John by 7 lengths. 4-1 on for Ruby Walsh that day, and you know, he went to Aintree and done the Punchestown treble, the big Cheltenham Aintree Punchestown treble, which is a bloody hard feat to do because you've got to remember to stay at your peak as an athlete for a long period of time is very challenging, and everything he'd done that year was just phenomenal. The 11th of December, the start of his new campaign, came out, blitzed up at Cork, again destroyed Sizing John at Leopardstown, won his prep race at Punchestown, and then turned up in the champion chase. He was 9-2 on. I had a muggy £100 bet on at 9-2 on. I thought I was being a smart ass nicking 18 quid. And I think after the third or fourth fence, I knew I'd done my money because I could see on the screen this horse just wasn't travelling. He obviously was found to be lame, and we haven't seen Douvan since. Now, that was on the 15th of March 2017. That's basically a full year. So, you know, you've got to ask yourself, can a horse come to the champion chase, take on a peak Min and a peak Altior and beat them? Sorry, excuse me. In Douvan's case, you could argue, yes, he's that special. However, he's not just coming off a layoff, he's coming off an injury, and he was supposed to run in the Tingle Creek at Sandown, and he didn't turn up because he went lame. So he's not just had the problem at Cheltenham, he's subsequently gone lame again. He's had setbacks, he's been held up. For me, Douvan is a no betting proposition whatsoever. He's a 9-2 shot, and I can't fathom how or why you could back him at this stage. I'd love to see him come back at his best. It would be majestical. But at this stage, with the amount of problems he's had, you have to ask yourself, will he ever return to the peaks of his power? And I think it's highly unlikely. What Sprinter Sacre done was marvellous, very unusual. But can Douvan come back to his best? I mean, guys, girls, you tell me. I don't think it's personally possible. He's such a legend, and this is such a good race. And if he were to come back to his best and fight Altior up the hill, my oh my, just imagine the scenes. Anyway, that's the top 3 in the betting. Right, the beautiful grey Politolug, he's a top price 10-1, and I'll be pretty fast on this situation here. I never expected him to do as well as what he's done. I backed him and tipped him in the Holden Gold Cup at 11-4 at the beginning of the year, and I thought that was pretty much his year done. He beat Fox Norton in the Tingle Creek. Fox Norton's been disappointing this year. He's now out injured. I was surprised Politolug beat him that day, but he's improved this year. Went on to Kempton, battered David Pipe's horse Vanatrix in the Desert Orchid chase, and then obviously took on Altior at the peak of his powers and was simply no match for him on his comeback. I mean, look, we saw there and then Politolug has no chance against Altior in this race. I couldn't recommend backing him. Why? Because we already know Altior's up here and Politolug is down there. It's as simple as that. Moving on to Special Tiara, he's a 16-1 shot, and if we get genuinely good ground, good soft good ground, this is a major player. He's your reigning champion chase winner. He beat Fox Norton last year when Douvan pulled up, and you can only beat what's in front of you. Obviously Altior's battered this horse in the Celebration chase prior to having the wind up. He absolutely destroyed him. So again, we know Altior is the best horse in the race. Look, let's face facts here. He's beaten Min. He's beaten Politolug. He's beaten Special Tiara. The only horse he hasn't beat is Douvan. And at this stage, I couldn't be too afraid about Douvan, as I've already stressed. I do think that if you can get 16-1 each way with Special Tiara and the ground comes up no worse than good to soft, you're on a really good play, because who knows if Douvan will make the race. He could easily beat Politolug. So Special Tiara could be an each way play, but there's a lot of question marks still around this race at this stage. Will Ruby Walsh ride Douvan if both him and Min run? Well, Ruby has said he'll ride this horse no matter what. So that is the lowdown on the champion chase. Let me know, at their peaks of power, who would win, Altior or Douvan? Fascinated to hear your comments about this one down below. Right, time for the roundup. Quite simple. I think I've already stressed what a big fanboy I am of Altior. He is the nap for the champion chase. For me, it's his race to lose. He's beaten Min, beaten Politolug, beaten Special Tiara. Currently available at 1.71. He's about 1.84 on the exchanges. I think he'll start shorter on the day. I think punters are going to get stuck into him. And if Sam Crow has won the Ballymore, all that juicy money will be piling onto Altior. He could go off at 2-1 on, in my opinion. Douvan may not make the race. Be warned, you should be backing him non-runner, no bet if you're going to. Min, I think Min will run a blinder, potentially finish second. He won't be anywhere near Altior at the end of the race, in my opinion. I think the each way play is Special Tiara, if the ground's good to soft or better. Let me know who's going to win, Altior, Min, Douvan. Surely it's between the top 3. And who knows, maybe Douvan can come back and surprise us all. I'd love to see it, but I wouldn't love to see him beating Altior, because I'll be hammering a big old wedge of money on him. Have a great evening, and if you like the video, be sure to like the video, leave a comment, and if you're on Twitter, a retweet would be greatly appreciated. I go out of my way to give all of you a load of entertainment all the time, and all I'm asking for is one simple thing. See you all at Cheltenham. We're only 9 days away now. It's getting exciting. I can taste the Guinness.
Mike Bite, Hugo, big fan? Yes. Big fan, what a horse. This is the Arkle winner, Altior. 2 Cheltenham Festival wins in 2 consecutive seasons.
This is the legend, the absolute star of the show. Say hello to Twitter, Altior. Well done on your performances, and I will see you at Sandown. Here he comes. He likes a selfie stick. Hello, lad. Blogger's drawn you out. Get a screenshot with Hugo. Hugo's getting that all-important selfie in. Great stuff. Looking forward to seeing you on Celebration Day, and you are a ledge. Top notch in the background. He ran a good race at Cheltenham to finish second to York Hill, third at Aintree, and I'm sure he's going to have another good year next year, stepping out of novices class. So I think that's top notch finish for the year. He's going to enjoy a summer break. My turn or yours. Second in 2 champion hurdles, 2 years in a row, and the old boy still seems to have a sparkle. He's getting a lot of love here today from the racing fans. We've got 2 smileys in one camera shot here, one on the right and one on the left. And we've got the champion hurdle winner, Douvan. Nicky made the right decision rerouting this horse, and ultimately he won the champion hurdle in quite impressive style by 5.5 lengths. Douvan, come and say hello. Come and say hello. Here he comes, good boy. Come on. No.
Can I tell you?
But, I think that's him done for the year, and we will see him back next season. Good boy. And this is the racing legend Sprinter Sacre, getting a lot of love from National Hunt fans. As you would expect, he's an absolute legend of the game, and he's enjoying himself here today. Sprinter Sacre will always be remembered as one of the absolute heroes of the National Hunt scene. How are you, Sprinter? You're still looking magnificent. Yep. Would you beat Altior in a 2-miler? Yeah, you would. You'd kick his ass, wouldn't you? Absolutely.